My name is Tash Joan Foti. I am Caucasian and I am 100% Russian. My age is 58. I'm married to Rich Favelas. My occupation is domestic goddess. Domestic goddess means I do all the work inside the house and no longer have to work outside. So my responsibilities are to take care of children, husband, house, shopping, cooking, cleaning, the dog, etc. Whatever I need to do, that's my job. We live in Yorba Linda, California. I have 2 kids of my own, and I also have 2 stepkids. I am a Republican, and I'm going to be answering question number 2. Question number 2 is, I feel, in my opinion, men are much, much more aggressive and assertive in the job market. They usually belong to the men's club, and the men's club constitutes of a particular anatomy that I do not have. When I see these men get together, they are usually off smoking cigars, golfing, having drinks with the buddies. That's a really good time for them to get together and talk about the company, openings, opportunities, things of that sort. Usually women are not invited to go with them, so I'm at a negative right off the bat. I feel that women are still viewed as second-class genders, and we are not given the same opportunities as men have. Many times I feel the women are overlooked because of the connection in the men's club that happens. And women, we have to fight hard to break through that glass ceiling, especially if that corporation is run primarily with men at the top. It makes it that much harder. Number 5 is, to me, marriage is extremely difficult and it needs a lot of work. And many times men are opting for divorce. And why is that? Because it's easy. It's a piece of paper. They don't want to work. They don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to work on themselves, the kids, spend extra time with the wife. A lot of times they feel the grass is greener on the other side. And what I mean by that is, the female can be much younger than the wife, have no kids, be footloose, able to go to dinners, dancing, vacations, whatnot, where the day-to-day family commitments of homework and getting the kids showered and to bed on time and cleaning the house and things of that sort, that's not appealing anymore, but that's day-to-day life. So men will go to where it's easier and friendlier, and women are paying lots of attention to them because they are not burdened with the day-to-day kids, environment, work, whatnot. So men usually leave. What happens with that is the females are then left with the kids to raise them alone. Depending on the husband, sometimes they participate and sometimes they do not. Number 6 is a tough question for me to answer. If my daughter was to come up to me and ask me, could she live with someone? The reason is my mom let me live with guys, even though I was way over 21. I still asked for her input and her thoughts. And I did choose to live with the men. None of them turned out to be marriage, even though both of us thought that that was the goal we were going to be achieving in a couple of years. But that did not turn out to work out. So it's hard for me to give advice for my daughter because I've seen from personal experience that it does not end up in marriage. I would tell her that it's easier to have a roommate to share costs and all that. And it's a great way to get to know them a little bit more, but chances are they're not going to get married. If she chooses to live with someone, I would hope she would wait till she's at least 25 and been with the guy a solid 2 years and both have the same kind of goals. Because as the saying goes, is why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? If you're getting the sex and you have a girlfriend paying for half your bills and taking care of your needs, it's like, why go that extra way to get that M word, that commitment to marriage? So it's going to be hard for me to swallow and allow my daughter to do that, but I'm going to have to let her make her mistakes on her own, and I am going to allow her to live with the guy, but with the understanding it's probably not going to work out to how she wants. Number 10, this is something I'm very familiar with. I got a divorce after 14 years of marriage. I was the one who pulled the plug. It was one of the most difficult, heart-wrenching times of my life. My husband was not expecting it, and it affected everyone around us negatively. Even though I filed, you would think that that would be less of a burden, but I had to find a house. I had to start over, and I had to make sure the kids were safe. So I left my ex with the house intact, kids' bedroom and everything the same, and I started over. It was a painfully emotional time of my life, physically painful with crying, financially, emotionally. I did not know what I was going to do. I had just known that after 14 years I couldn't do it anymore, and I knew the kids were not happy. I saw the kids' resilience come back, but even though they were resilient to some degree, they suffered a lot. It affected so many people so deep that I would not recommend it, and that's why I think that counseling and therapy is really important before you pull the plug. It was probably a good solid year before I felt like I could put my head up and breathe on my own without an elephant sitting on my chest, and I felt like, okay, we can move forward. I've got a house, I've got the kids, everything is safe. And then you start a different type of a life where you have joint custody, and it's just a very difficult time, and I would not advise it for anyone. So in conclusion, in my opinion, I still think men have way more opportunities than women. If you look at just the presidents of the United States, it's always men. The women that try, they don't even come close. And why is that? Because it's a stereotype. It's expected that men can do a better job. Women will be PMSing or having that daily monthly issue. They can't handle it all. Well, we women multitask, give birth to kids, and can raise a good family given the opportunities. And considering the country's in a mess right now, I think women can do an excellent job. Divorce is at an all-time high, and with social media now, I don't even know if it's going to go higher. Is why get married? You can open up your computer or your phone and talk to 1,000 girls in a night. You're no longer seeing them. You're not getting rejected. You can talk to them, not talk to them. You never even have to meet them. For your first marriage, it's a 50% divorce chance. Second marriage, 60, and third is 70. It's like, why get married? So my thought is here, if you're going to get married, do it when you're ready. Do it when you can give it 110%, and you're willing to put that above your career, above your friends, and above your social happenings. Wait until you're older, more mature. You have your yayas all done. You're out partied and you're done. You're ready to commit to a family, and that's what you want to do. It's hard work. It's the hardest work I've ever had in my life, and it takes two people to do that. And if you're not going to, it's not going to work out. And then you suffer, your kids suffer, husband suffers, and it is just not a winning situation.